But I do want to come back to one. How many of you are doing TDD? Oh, it's more hands this time. Yeah, started doing the talk. Good. And those of you who are doing TDD, are you writing your tests first? So let me be very clear. Writing unit tests after the fact is not test-driven development. It has nothing to do with test-driven development. Writing tests after the fact is a waste of time. It is something you are doing to check off some little procedural thing that somebody told you you had to do, but you are not taking things seriously if you are not writing your tests first. Why? Why do you have to write your tests first?
Because otherwise, how would you ever write any code?
Okay, that's good, Angela.
Thank you.
If you're a test-driven developer, that makes perfect sense. If you're not a test-driven developer, it sounds insane. So why must you write your tests first?
So you know when you're done.
So you know when you're done. Another good example, okay? But not the one I'm going for. How do you know that those tests cover everything? Let me put this differently. Why do we have a suite of tests? What is the purpose of our suite of tests? So that we can refactor. That is the exact reason. The suite of tests is not there to satisfy a QA group. The suite of tests is not there to prove to other people that our code works. The suite of tests is there so that we can refactor. So that when we bring code up on our screen, we are not afraid of it. How many of you are afraid of your code? Afraid what will happen to you if you touch it? Right? Code comes up on the screen, you look at it, and your first thought is, ooh, someone should clean this. Your next thought is, I'm not touching it. I want you to think how deeply dysfunctional it is for you to be afraid of the thing that you created. For you to be submitting to its will instead of it submitting to you. You are no longer the sculptor. You are no longer the artist. Now you are dominated by your own creation because you're afraid to touch it. And if you are afraid to touch it, then it will rot. And you've seen that rot, and you know what that rot is like. And that rot will slow you down, and it will slow the whole team down. It will drag you into a filthy morass, and you will blame management. When the fault is actually your own. Because you did not keep this beast under control. How do you keep the beast under control? You need a suite of tests you trust with your life. You must never look at that suite of tests and think, you know, I don't think I really tested everything. Soon as you think that, you've lost it. Because now you're afraid of your code. The reason we write our tests first is so that we know that every line of code we wrote was because of a failing test that we wrote. So that we know that every single decision we made is tested. So that then we can pull up that code on our screen and say, oh my God, that looks like a mess, and clean it without any fear.